Hello, hello. I'm Daisy, and I'm doing more coding as usual. And yesterday I didn't really make it to stream, but I was doing some Python tutorials off stream and other stuff. So I was still studying because I still learn a little coding every day, but I wasn't really streaming yesterday, but that's fine. The goal is not to stream every day as long as we're learning every day, doing a little coding stuff. Anyhow, let's see. Oh yeah, sorry. So today we're doing we're doing HTML. Yeah. So I think last time we did the lab. Today I just got to read and then do this debug a pet adoption page, and then I'll try to get as far as I can. Let's see. Oh boy. Yeah, build a cat photo app is next. Okay, what role does HTML play on the lab? It's hypertext markup language for creating web pages. When you see paragraphs, headings, links, images, and videos, that's HTML. Here's a small example of HTML elements. Try editing some of the text editor and see the changes update in the preview window. Oh yeah, so I noticed there's this interactive editor, so you can actually edit this and see if things change. I did not know about that until they pointed out just then, and it made me wonder. I didn't check this earlier, but in these Python things I've been doing, was that there the whole time? Like, was I just able to do that? Let's see. Working with dictionaries and sets. What are dictionaries? How do they work? Yeah, okay. So it's not here. There's no interactive editor. Because I brought that up multiple times. Like, I wish I could, like, change things to, like, see good examples for myself and interact with the tutorials. I was going to be rather bummed if I realized I could have done that the whole time. But anyway, but with this HTML stuff, I can do that. And that makes sense because that's kind of how web page coding is. Like, you can kind of just actively change web pages. Well, like, not at the source, but like you can change things in a browser. Let's see. So yeah, change this. Let's just heading, and we'll capitalize it. Element. I also did a lot of typing practice today off stream. I'm trying to do more typing practice off stream, not only so that it doesn't eat into my time, but also because I get pretty caught up in the typing practice, and I want to keep on going. So doing that while I'm not streaming and not stressing about having to code at some point makes it so I'll just like keep on going. So it's pretty good. It's been pretty good that I've been making a lot of progress since doing it off stream. HTML represents the content and structure of a web page through use of elements. You have an opening tag and a closing tag, referred to as start and end tags. In between, you have the content. It can be text or other HTML elements. Oops. Here's another example of a paragraph element. Change the text in the editor to say I love coding and see the results in the preview window. I love coding. Sweet. Both the opening and closing tags start with a... Oh boy. I guess I should just keep it open because... both the opening and starting tags start with a left angle bracket and end with a right angle bracket. I've never seen those... I didn't realize they were called angle brackets. I usually just see people call them less than and greater than. Oh, that's cool. With the name tag placed in between the angle brackets. While HTML tag names are case insensitive, it is widely accepted convention and best practice to write them in lowercase. Makes sense. Just to make it less confusing. Here's a closer look at the opening and closing paragraph tags. What distinguishes them is the / placed immediately after the left angle bracket in a closing tag. Some HTML elements do not have closing tags. They are shown as void elements. These are known as void elements. Here's an example of an image element, which is a void element. Okay, so you don't close it. The image element does not have the closing tag, and it does not have any content. It cannot have any content and only have a start tag. Some have void elements at the end, or they have a / before the right angle bracket. While many code formatters like Prettier will choose to include the / in void elements, the HTML spec states that the presence of it does not mark the tag itself as self-clothing, but instead is unnecessary and has no effect of any kind. Interesting. In real-world development, you will see both forms, so it is important to be familiar with both. If you want to display an image, you have to include a couple of attributes inside your image element. An attribute is a special value used to adjust the behavior for an HTML element. Okay. All right. Here's an image element with the src attribute. Update the value of the src attribute to this, and you'll see the image change to 2 cats peacefully sleeping. Okay. So, oh boy. Oh, let me just... Boy, that's difficult to do. I guess I can't... whatchamacallit, I guess I won't be able to highlight the whole thing. This is extremely obnoxious to work with. How do I go back? Oh my god. Please, okay. Alright. Let me set it to this. And that's very... That did not feel great to work with. Okay, interesting. The src attribute is used to specify the location for that image. For image elements, good practice to include another attribute called the alt attribute. A short descriptive text. Here's an example of an image element with src and alt. Try breaking the image by updating the src value to this. You will see the image disappear and only the alt text show. Okay. Copy. Oh, okay, so don't break that part. Okay, and Control V. Okay. Two tabby kittens sleeping together on a couch. It's weird how I had to put this in specifically to break it like that, but okay, so you might be wondering if HTML by itself is enough to build a website. Well, the answer is it depends. If you're building a small practice project that only displays text and images, HTML alone might be sufficient. If you're creating a modern professional one, you might need HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML is content and structure, CSS is for styling, JavaScript adds interactivity. A good analogy for this is to compare HTML, CSS, and JavaScript with a complete building. HTML is the blocks, concrete, and irons that make up the walls. It's the foundation that makes the building strong. Okay, I didn't expect that. I kind of thought JavaScript, since it's not a markup language, it's like a general purpose language, I thought that would be the foundation. CSS represents the interior and exterior design that makes the house look beautiful. JavaScript represents the electrical and water system that ensures uninterrupted access to water and electricity. Okay, that's a neat way of looking at it. Okay, makes hypertext markup language. Correct syntax for a closing tag, / which of the following is valid attribute used inside image? src, bold, closing div. Okay. Well, src is. Sweet. Okay, what are attributes and how do they work? It's a value placed inside the opening tag of an HTML element. They provide additional information about the element or specify how the element should behave. Here's the best syntax for an attribute. Oh boy. Or the basic syntax for an attribute. An attribute equals value. Okay, the attribute name is followed by an equal sign and a value in quotes. The value can be a string or number depending on the attribute. The first example uses href and target attributes. The href attributes specifies the URL of a link, and the target that specifies where to open the link. Enable the interactive code editor. Change this to this. Oh, whoops. I'll do it like this. Why is it? Okay, I was like, that's really weird that it's doing it like that. Okay, whoops, that's a backslash. You'll see a FreeCodeCamp homepage in a new browser tab. Cool. Oh, I should have looked at that quote. Without the href attribute, the link would not work because there would be no destination URL. So you must include the href attribute to make the link functional. The target equals blank. Oh, like that. Target equals blank. Visit free code camp. Is that like a comma or a comment? It enables it to open the link in a new browser tab. You will learn more about the target attribute in future lessons. Oh, so I did open a new tab, but maybe it just, it automatically does that because of the target. You'll learn more about it in future lessons. Other common attributes of the SRC and alt or alternative and attribute. Or alternative attribute. SRC and alternative attribute, which is used to specify the source of an image and provide alternative descriptive text for the image respectively. Enable the editor and change this to this. And then change the alt to 2 sabbies sitting on a couch to 2 cats running in the dirt. I guess this part I could type out, but I want to do this instead. Oh. It looks like it didn't really visually change anything, but I think maybe that's part of it. Similar to the href attribute, the SRC is required because it specifies the image file to be displayed. The alt attribute is not required, but is recommended for accessibility purposes. It means making sure that everyone, including those with disabilities, can use and understand things, like websites, apps, and physical spaces. You'll learn about it in upcoming lessons. Some attributes are a little unique with their syntax, like the checked attribute. Enable the interactive editor and try clicking on the checkbox in the preview window to see it alternate. Okay. In the following example, we have an input element with a type attribute set to checkbox. Inputs are used to collect data from users, and the type attribute specifies the type of input. In this case, oh boy, I'm getting sleepy. We have an input element. Oh yeah, in this case, the input is a checkbox. You will learn more about how inputs work in upcoming lessons. The checked attribute is used to specify that the checkbox should be checked by default. Oh. Okay. It does not require a value. If it is present, the checkbox will be checked by default. If the attribute is not present, the checkbox will be unchecked. Huh. Okay. This is known as a Boolean attribute. You will learn more about Booleans in general when you get to the JavaScript section. I think I know a thing or two about Booleans. Enable the interactive editor. Try removing checked from input. You will see it is no longer checked by default. Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. There are several common Boolean attributes we'll encounter in HTML, such as disabled, read-only, and required. These attributes are used to specify the state of the element, such as whether it's disabled, read-only, or required. Here's an example of text input element that is disabled by default. Enable the interactive editor and try clicking on the input element in the preview window. Now remove the disabled attribute from the input element, and you'll see that input is no longer disabled by default. And you should be able to type. Hello world. HTML has many attributes that can be used to customize the behavior and appearance of elements. Understanding how to use attributes is essential for creating interactive and accessible web content. Over the next few lessons, you will learn more about HTML and how to use them effectively. What is the following example of a Boolean? Disabled. What is the role of an attribute in HTML? What is the role of an attribute? They provide additional information and help define the behavior of HTML elements. It's these three. Sweet. Oh wait, did I get all three of those right? Forgot sometimes they don't really tell you. Okay. Responsive web design. Debug a pet adoption page. Continue learning. Okay, Sally, a pet adoption store owner, has built her first web page, but there's some issues. Her job is to fix all the errors so Sally can continue building her web page. I like how, yeah, these labs are like way, way, way easier than the ones I was doing in the Python thing. So they really did not expect you to jump ahead like I did. I was only able to get so far because of my previous experience with Python, but overall they expected you to have all this background and all this foundation, because these labs are mainly just like fix the syntax, see what's wrong with the syntax and fix it. Okay, so only wants to use the images from cats, but it's not displaying correctly. You need to fix the following in the IMG element. Replace the href with the correct attribute for the image source. Replace the ATT attribute with the correct attribute representing short descriptive text for images. Remove the /img closing tag because their elements are void elements and don't have closing tags. You want to use some links to direct users to dogs and cat pages, but they're not working correctly. You'll need to follow in the A elements. Replace SRC attributes with the correct attributes used to specify URLs. Okay, so this IMG element's the one that needs to be fixed, so it doesn't need a closing tag. And then attribute was ATR, right? I could be wrong about that. And then href. Wait, oh man, I'm completely blanking. Oh yeah, SRC is the proper thing. Oh, and then ALT, the alt attribute. Okay, so href is the whatchmanding. Oh, okay, yeah, so these are just backwards. This is SRC, and these two are href. All right, and then this is ALT. Right? Let's just be sure. Okay, so SRC and alt or alternative attribute. Okay, so SRC. Oh. Yeah, SRC, that's the image. Oh, look. Yeah, okay, that worked. And then switching these to href made it so now there's links. Your IMG element should have SRC instead of... Oh, the answers are just right here. Should have alt attribute instead of the non-existent ATT. Yeah, you did not have the closing tag. That href attribute. Okay. Okay. Become a supporter. Support free education. It's 2:42. I gotta get to bed real soon. I've been getting to bed earlier and earlier. It's pretty good. I'm on a mission to fix my sleep, while also staying up late to learn stuff. HTML fundamentals. Oh boy. Okay. Oh wait, no, this is it. Understanding the boilerplate. Okay, I think it's about time I hop off. I'm very sleepy, and I'll be sure to dive into this a bit more tomorrow. I really got to start doing this earlier, but I'm starting to kind of pass out, and it's not only going to be hard to read things, but I don't know. It's just I gotta sleep, and I'm getting sleepy. Anyway, I don't think. If I do read these, I'm just only gonna get like partly into it, and then I'm gonna have to do this cat photo app. So I'd rather just do it all at once. So this photo app thing's just a workshop, and then we have our own lab. But this one, the pet adoption page and debug camper bots, they're labs, but it was mainly just fixing stuff here and there rather than doing like self-directed projects. So I don't think it'll be too hard to do the recipe page thing. Anyway, I gotta get to bed. Actually, let me see if this is difficult. Okay, maybe I can read this. What is the role of the link element in HTML, and how can it be used to link to external style sheets? Learn about link element. The link element is used to link external sources like style sheets and site icons. Here's the basic syntax for the link element of an external CSS file. Oh, styles.css. So it's a file written in CSS. It's got the thing at the end. The rel attribute is used to specify the relationship between the linked resource and the HTML document. In this situation, we need to specify that the linked resource is a style sheet. It is considered best practice to separate your HTML and CSS in different files. Developers will use the link element for the external CSS file instead of writing everything in the HTML document. Here, the href attribute is used to specify the location of the URL for the external resource. The dot followed by a / in the example tells the computer to look in the current folder or directory for the styles.css file. Okay, right there. The link element should be placed inside the head element as seen in the following example. Oh, so it's like indented. It's like above and below. It's kind of like loops and stuff. Oftentimes you'll see multiple link elements inside a professional code base that link to different styles, fonts, and icons. Here's an example that uses a font called Playwright Cuba. Oh boy, I don't know how much of this I'm supposed to understand, but I kind of am getting some stuff. Google Fonts are a set of free and open source custom fonts that you can use inside any project. You can choose which fonts you would like to use, and Google will provide you with the necessary HTML and CSS code. In this example, pre-connect value for a rel attribute. Okay, well, tells the browser to create an early connection to the value specified in the href attribute. It's done to speed up loading times for these external resources. Another common use case for link element is to link icons. To link to icons. Here's an example of linking to a favicon. A favicon, which is short for a favorite icon. Oh, favicon. Favorite icon is a small icon typically displayed in the browser tab next to the site title. A lot of websites will use a favicon to display their brand icon. So role of link element. I don't know. They use the link element for their external CSS file instead of writing everything in HTML. Used to link to external sources. Yeah, it's used to link to external resources like style sheet and site icons. I think it's the relationship. It specifies the relationship between the linked resource and the HTML document. Okay, that was right. What is favicon? A type of JavaScript. A font type used to style. Small icon used to display the browser tab. Oh man. Okay, yeah, it's time for me to go to bed. Okay, thanks for sticking around. It means a lot to me. But it's sleepy time. Taking the first train to Sleepy Time Junction. Anyhow, bye bye.